Hey folks, what's happening? It's DJRockinRob, and today we're going to talk about remote controlling virtual DJ. Now, I know I've already done this video before when using my Droid, right? I had control of the left deck and the right deck with volumes and crossfaders. It worked out really neat, right? But there were a lot of limitations. First off, I had to map each one of these functions, which, if you remember the video, was kind of difficult until I got a more updated version of the program. That's incorrect. The older program was easier to use than the newer one. Alright, so another problem with the Droid app that I worked out is that I can only manipulate the left deck and the right deck. I can't load the next song, I can't queue it up, but then again, you can't really queue it up anyway. But the bottom line is, I can only manipulate left and right decks, right? Change the volumes, start it, stop it, crossfade, or even maybe work with some of the EQ settings or an effect, you know? And then if I really took the time, I could map out these here. But the bottom line is, I didn't have any feedback from the computer. There's no position information. There's no time remaining. You know, up right above the player is an illustration of the waveform, so that you can kind of see where a lull is coming in, or you can see where it's getting exciting. But really, what it's doing is it's 0 to 100%. So if you were 3 minutes into a 4-minute song, then the progress indicator would be at 75%. Well, with this, we don't have any of that information. Yeah, Droid let me down. But it did serve the basic function of giving me the opportunity to get out in front of the people and just say, okay, you guys ready for this? Boom, I hit the button and it starts playing. It worked out great. But I also mentioned that if I had an iPhone or an iPad, everything would be so much easier. Well, I don't have an iPad, but my friend does. This is the iPad 1. He got it on eBay, new in the box. What do they call it? Old, but new in the box? And Steve Jobs has released better pricing for the older units, because now that they've brought out the iPad 2, they're trying to unload the iPad 1s. So if you want one of these, 16 gig, $399. Don't worry, I'm already thinking about it. But hey, what I want to talk about is the virtual DJ app itself. It cost $10 on the Apple market, and it's a good $10 to spend. So here's what we got. Left deck, mixer, right deck. Alright, down here, you can't really see it too well, but that is where the browser is. I can look through the different folders. Here, let me scroll through there. And let's see if you can, this one. We'll load it into the right deck. You can see the waveform pulling up there, and touch of a button, it starts playing. Now we have full control on this, just like we would a hard physical controller. And volume controls, just in case it's small. Crossfader. But you know how a basic mixer works, right? We also have we also have access to the sampler. Hands up in the air. It's pretty neat, and I can change the volumes of that. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Now, We also, much to my delight, have access to the effects. Or a filter. Now, did I mention we have loops? That was a bad loop. Not bad, huh? Not bad for an amateur. Aside from all the really cool features that the app has, one of the favorite things is the position indicator. The 0 to 100%. Well, that didn't go fast enough. Let's jump. Boom. Jump back here. Jump over there. No, that's not what we want. Cue it. Well, there it is. It's one continuous page, and everything you need is here. There is no menu function, which I thought would be a con, but it really isn't. It's not a negative, because everything you need is here. Now, you can upload new skins to it, but you have to download the skins from the virtual DJ forums. They're not official skins, so users like you and me are creating these skins and then giving them to the pro users forums. Some of the fantastic things about this: we have control over the left, the right decks, we got position indicator, feedback from the computer itself. We can search, well, search is a strong word. We can browse our music folders. There is no place to actually type in a music search and initiate a legitimate search. But if you know what's in your folders, or you create a particular folder, then you can go to that folder. Now let's talk about how I got it to communicate. It wasn't just as easy as download the app. Well, first off, you have to be running Virtual DJ 7.0.2 or better. This here is 7.203. And it happens to be a little bit better than the 7.01 I think I had on previously. I had to upgrade it. I am not a fan of iTunes, and if I can help it, I don't have iTunes on my computer. So that caused a problem in that we didn't have the Bonjour drivers. The Bonjour drivers allow Mac devices to communicate with PC devices. More specifically, it was designed for printers, and the iOS is just using it for this particular application. And it's pretty easy to get a hold of. It's free, and it's an easy install. But this machine is running XP Service Pack 2. So one of the problems I ran into, and it took me a little while to figure out, was that the firewall was blocking Virtual DJ, and it was also blocking Bonjour. Well, in Windows 7, you don't have that problem, because as soon as the program wants to access that protocol, it pops up a little window and says, hey, do you want to block it or unblock it? You just unblock it, So that didn't happen with XP, and it wouldn't connect. I tried killing the process so that it would start over and reinitiate the search for the PC, and I worked with the network settings, and it just took me a little while to work out the kink that it was the firewall blocking me. So my first problem to overcome was the version of the software. It's got to be, I recommend 7.0.3. That's the latest version out that I'm aware of. Then you have to install the Bonjour drivers. Once you get those, and you once you add the exceptions in your Windows firewall for XP users, everything's great. Then all you have to do is go into the config menu, and under the iPad/iPhone tab, you click connect. It will pop up in the window. It will pop up what device you're using, the iPad or the iPhone, and you just say connect, and it's done. You have full control over it. Okay, so playing with this, I turn it off, I turn it on, I turn it off, I turn it on. I have been having some reconnect issues. I don't have it quite worked out yet, but we're now to the home screen. Let's see if it worked. If we connect back, we did. Now, that's just going to the home screen. What if we turn it off? There it is. Click, turned off. Will we get it back? Let's find out. Alright, I just saw a little blip. It said searching, it found it, and we got control. Well, things never happen the way you want it to when you're trying to demonstrate it. Have you ever noticed that? So, there are potential disconnect issues. I don't know the range. I haven't tested the range, but last night at my pool party event, we were able to go about 50 feet, no problems. It was working great. We had a good time, and it was wonderful. So, there it is. Virtual DJ app for the iPad and iPhone. Now this is not my iPad, and I hope that when this guy upgrades, I'll be able to buy this one from him, because it does what I need it to do. The difference between the iPad and the iPad 1 and the iPad 2 are definitely some advantages, but I don't need them. I don't need the 3G service. I don't want the 3G service. The cameras. Well, my Droid's got a pretty awesome camera. I don't know, we'll talk about that. It just depends on what kind of deal I can get for this thing. So, Droid app was cool. The iPad app was a whole lot better. This is DJ RockinRob saying thanks for watching. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer it. So, catch you guys later.